Minister for Trade. The Australian government is negotiating free trade agreements with the governments of the Gulf states, India, Indonesia and 10 or 11 countries in the Trans-Pacific Partnership. It signed an agreement involving various Pacific Island countries and has free trade agreements in force with the governments of New Zealand, Singapore, Thailand, the US, Chile, Malaysia, Korea, Japan and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. The Australian government also has a free trade agreement with the government of China. However, it does not have a free trade agreement with the government of Taiwan. The previous Minister for Trade, Mr Andrew Robb, advised me that such an agreement was on the agenda. Can the attorney advise if this is still the case?
Senator Brandis, representing the Minister for Trade.
Thank you, Mr President. Thank you very much, Senator Leyonhjelm, for that question and for the courtesy of giving me some advance notice of it. So I've got some information from the Minister for Trade which I can give to you. Taiwan is an important economic partner for Australia and our bilateral relationship continues to expand. The government is open to the possibility of pursuing better market access arrangements and closer economic cooperation with Taiwan. Any arrangements Australia concluded with Taiwan would be consistent with our One China policy. The government continues to investigate the potential for liberalising trade arrangements with major trading partners. Taiwan was our 14th largest trading partner in 2016 and our 8th largest goods export market for the financial year 2016-17. We expect to see strong growth in energy exports to Taiwan over the medium term as Taiwan transitions its energy mix. For example, Australia is well placed to meet Taiwan's growing demand for LNG over the longer term and coal over the shorter term. Australia and Taiwan's people-to-people trade links are also stronger than ever. Taiwan is a significant source market for international students in Australia and is the second largest source of working holiday makers after the United Kingdom. Taiwan is Australia's 13th largest tourism market by arrivals and 12th by expenditure. In fact, increased flights and new routes saw visitor numbers from Taiwan to Australia grow by 26% to over 164,000 in 2016.
Senator Leyonhjelm, supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr President. I think I'll interpret that as no. Communist China has a history of arresting Australian employees of Australian companies and detaining them for long periods of time, only releasing them after they confess to implausible crimes. Can you advise whether the Liberal Democratic Government of Taiwan has ever done the same to any Australians?
Senator Brandis.
Thank you, Senator Leyonhjelm. Without accepting the assertion in the first part of that question, I can tell you, Senator, that no, we are not aware of any Australians being arrested or detained in Taiwan for commercial matters or economic crimes.
Senator Leyonhjelm, supplementary question.
I understand that trade with Taiwan exceeds trade with most of the countries with which we have signed or are negotiating free trade agreements. Can the Minister confirm that Australia has an independent foreign policy and that any threats from the Government of China have no bearing on our trade policy?
Senator Brandis.
Well, indeed, Senator Leyonhjelm, Taiwan was our 14th largest trading partner in 2016. Australia has concluded FTAs with 10 of our top 15 trading partners, including China, the United States, Japan, Korea, New Zealand, Singapore and Thailand. Our negotiations with India, the EU and eventually the UK will mean that, when completed, Australia will have FTAs with our top 10 trading partners.
Senator